As I was saying before, welcome to Jesus Christ, Super Cyborg. Welcome to Super Cyborg. I'm your pal Slowbeef. With me is Dominic Tarasan, CPU Basic. We'll call him to the time. Geist.
Yep. Hey, what's up?
What's going on? Yeah, no, I didn't get to finish this game ever, and nowadays, if I can't finish games that quick, I just don't come back to them. So I really wanted to come back to this one. Have any of you played Super Cyborg? I think, Dominic, you're actually the one who told me about Super Cyborg, right?
Yeah, I played it first years ago. There was a demo released a long time ago, and then the developer announced that they just had too much going on in life and probably wouldn't be finishing it. So I was really surprised when it just kind of rolled out middle of last year.
Yeah, it's kind of a love letter to Contra, more or less, right? So
yeah, it is like a pure Contra clone. But with kind of the alt fires from Shattered Soldier, I guess.
Huh.
Cool. Well, I'm going to do normal difficulty, because I think easy is probably... Oh, and let me start the clock. Alright.
You ain't going to have any trouble with this one. Like, you just 1cc Crimson Clover.
Yeah, I mean, Contra is Contra. It can't be that long, right?
Right. You guys can see...
I say not playing Contra, not having ever played Contra before.
And everybody can see the screen okay and hear it and all that?
Yep.
Cool.
Looks good.
Yep. Awesome. So, of course, you get your standard Contra. You also get alternate fire, which is interesting. Like, every gun has a secondary button you can use, and, yeah, like, the machine gun here has that, like, weird-looking charge shot kind of deal, you know? But,
yeah, I gotcha.
And the enemy design is kind of neat and stuff from what I remember. Loco Molito's actually a fan of this game, just FYI. Or at least the art style of it, I should say. He's the guy who did Hydra and all those awesome indie games that we all love.
Yeah, this is very much his jam as well.
Totally.
Yeah, he seems to like the kind of old-looking games. Just going by anything he makes.
Yeah, totally. Okay, this is the flame gun, which I think it kind of reminds me of the Super C flame gun. But I kind of, if I remember correctly from the times I did play this game, it's really powerful and has a really interesting, ooh dear, special weapon. Hey, no. You know what? I might change my controls later, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. Because I have alternate fire, like, tapped to my, like, triangle button, you know, on top. So it's a little hard to jump and use the alternate fire. Let's just hope that doesn't come up.
For games like this, I tend to put jump and fire under, like, one thumb, and then any secondary functions on the shoulder buttons.
Exactly right, yeah, that's what I'm thinking now, but I didn't think of it at the time. But that's okay, we got a spread gun at least, so...
Oh, you're one.
Yeah, there we go. Whoa, and that's a hell of an alternate
fancy.
fire. Yeah, serious.
Kind of reminds me of the ultimate shot in Mega Man X.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I can see that.
Alright, and I think now we're at the first boss, if I remember. And this is definitely Contra kind of vibes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is basically Contra if it ain't skipped the kind of generic soldier guys.
Skip the generic soldier to place him with generic robot.
Indeed.
So,
guys, you're the newest person here. Let's make you prove yourself. No, I'm kidding. What have you been playing lately?
let me think. Borderlands 2, I got that while it was on sale a while back, and a couple of friends of mine have it, so that. And, other than that, not much. I picked up a couple games on Steam, just TF2 and some little indie game I found called Fistful of Frags.
Nice.
And basically, I've been into shooters recently, so Wild West shooter, Team Fortress 2, and
yes,
Borderlands
I heard
2.
of that. Isn't like Fistful of Frags like that mod of...
Yeah, it used to be a mod, but I think it's now officially tagged as freeware.
Yeah, it's now its own little thing.
I heard it's supposed to be really good, so...
Oh, it is. It's actually really fun. It's kind of addicting. But then it has such a small player base that you get all the really shitty people, and they're always there.
Oh, yeah.
Laser, I like that.
The art style in this game is positively lurid in its color scheme.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like, it seems more paletted than the NES was. You know, like it's using more colors than.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah.
But it's still.
And they really went to town with it. It's like it's a limited palette, but they go for really high saturation colors.
Totally. Hey, look, it's Tie Tuesday in chat. Who cares?
Wow.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Nah. Geist Basic. I don't know your answers. Did you guys play a lot of Contra?
Not really.
have never played it before.
Whoa.
I don't play too much Contra, but I did play a bit of it, not too much like everyone else has.
I was a huge fan of Contra 3 growing up, the Super Nintendo really hard one. The rock hard one that separate. Yeah.
I was like, is that the one with the top down thing? Because I know a couple of friends of mine used to play that.
That's the one with the top down ones, yeah. Those like weird oh, you jerk. Those weird like secondary stages of Contra. They were in all of them and they never really like added any. I don't know anybody who ever liked them, honestly. Except maybe the first one, which was that like third person behind the back kind of thing, but even that it just I don't know, felt out of place to me.
Yeah.
And they might have just been there to sort of fill space.
Well, that's the thing. They were probably relatively easy to design because the overhead maps were basically just mode 7 single texture with a few enemy placements.
Wow. I don't know if your prediction is quite accurate, by the way, Dominic. I'm taking a little bit of a beating here on stage 2. Let's see what happens.
Well, I never said you'd do it first try, but
we got plenty of time. I think what'll this be? This on like Friday night, maybe Saturday night. I should have probably calculated that before we started, but whatever. So we got the weekend, so that should be good.
I recall this being fairly generous with the continues as well.
You can continue, I believe, from any stage. I think the only trick is you retain the lives and weapons from the previous stage. You know.
Oh.
Alright, so let's go to the very special options screen here. Alternate fire will make R button, yeah. Alright, that works. Let's get the hell out of here.
So, what do the R pickups do? Does anyone know?
I believe they're rapid fire. Like, so in the original Contra, you could grab that and it would increase your rate of fire for the weapon. Even like the machine gun, which is like, you know.
Okay, yeah, that would make the machine gun real nasty.
And one cool thing you could do if you had an NES Advantage on the original Contra was you could do turbo fire on spread gun, and the first bullet would come out, like, going horizontally, and then it would restart, and you'd have, like, a super fast, like, machine gun. That's a little trick if you get time warped back to, like, 1985 or whatever.
I've seen that trick like abused horribly in tool-assisted runs.
Oh, let's see. That. I haven't watched a tool-assisted Contra actually. I should. I
like watching tool-assisted runs. Sometimes it's just so ridiculous that it just breaks the game in ways that you never thought of. Like with all the Super Mario World ones that completely changed the game.
I feel like some of them could benefit from a little commentary, and I don't mean like Let's Play-ish kind of commentary, like maybe the whole way through, but I like the annotated ones, or like, because sometimes they'll do something, like they'll just run up to a wall and die, and you're like, and then respawn, and you're like, what the hell did that do? And then you have to read the notes, and it's like, okay, that death in 3-1 spares me like an enemy that won't spawn later, and you know, that's like 10 seconds off or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that can make it more entertaining to watch, just so you know what's going on.
Basically explaining what the hell they did.
Yeah, kind of like the secondary, the co-pilots at AGDQ, you know? The dudes in the couches.
I think one of the more interesting tool-assisted runs I saw, I think it was one of the Terminator games. They did a tool-assisted run on the highest difficulty, which was obviously never play-tested, as it basically throws so many enemies at you so quickly that it is almost guaranteed to crash on the first stage. So the entire tool-assisted run is carefully managing enemy spawns to avoid it crashing. The game itself is the boss.
Oh god, that's awful.
That's awesome.
It's hilarious.
My favorite one is apparently Gradius 3, when it was released for the arcade, was never play tested, and like the stage 3, the Moai heads, like the hitboxes are really out of hand on them. Like one isn't even really connected to the sprite, and there's a thing called the cube rush where these blocks just kind of fly at you, and it's just known for being like ludicrously unfair. Where it's like, okay, well, you can't really dodge this right now, you know. Or like the bubble stage in 2, if you die, your run's over because there's no way without the power-ups to like actually survive all the bubbles that get spawned.
Brilliant.
I love stuff like that. But then they fixed it in Super Gradius 3 for the Super NES and introduced a lot of slowdown, so there was that.
Yeah, Contra-wise, I never really played the NES or SNES ones, but my first one that I really played in any depth was Hardcore on the Genesis.
I think I played it once back in the day, but then when Dectalon did the Hard Games thread, and I did Contra 3, and a couple other people did Hardcore, I did it with Brownie, I think, who had the double jump and the floaty. He had a floaty double jump.
Brownie's basically easy mode.
That's what I've been hearing, yeah. That's what everyone told me. But, you know, everyone else had taken all the other characters, so he was the only one left.
And to be fair, it's acceptable to use easy mode on the English version because for some reason they removed the health bars from the Japanese version.
So what, it's a one-hit KO instead of you having a health bar?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, brilliant.
In the Japanese version, you took 3 hits before dying.
Seems like they do that in a lot of games.
They do that in quite a few games, especially in the older games. They have a whole lot of regional differences like that for some reason. Very strange.
Apparently, in that case, there was this weird perception that American gamers were far more hardcore than their Japanese equivalents.
That explains the box art.
No, it doesn't. Nothing explains the Oh yeah, now Kirby, that's a hardcore game.
Kirby's always mad at American releases, and then you look at the Japanese one, he's like flying around hell happy. It's the funniest thing. It's like, it makes no sense why they continue doing that when everyone knows Kirby's supposed to be like a happy kind of game, and they still make.
Have you seen that old Kirby TV ad where he picks a fight with a biker bar?
What?
No.
There is.
I don't remember that one.
Let me. Someone in chat find it. It's fairly common. And yeah, it's the most amazingly surreal retro work in gaming TV ad. But yeah, it's like the ultimate hardcore Kirby.
Beautiful.
Like the only old commercials I remember are like the Smash Brothers commercial where they were all like beating up each other to like a happy song, and then there was the Super Mario RPG commercial where like there was like a grandpa that just yelled at the top of his lungs the title of the game for no reason. I don't know what is that.
Oh god, these just sound.
Like, that's all I remember of that commercial, is just the guy at the end of the commercial getting up out of his chair and just screaming the name of Super Mario RPG.
Shakespeare and I just dropped the link to the ad, and it's for Kirby Dream Land 2.
Oh god.
Does anybody else... Oh, god.
It is a live-action Kirby TV ad where he picks a fight with a biker bar.
Oh, wait! I think I remember that.
I've never heard of these. The only Kirby ad I ever remember was the really terrible one for the Game Boy Advance release. That was basically just them saying the name of the game over and over in a somewhat musical tone.
Now that I see the commercial, I remember it, but I don't remember it was a Kirby ad. Wow.
Well, I mean, given the substance.
You can be excused, yes. It's just... Your brain would never associate this with Kirby, even after seeing it.
Do you remember back, way back, there was a Legend of Zelda commercial where a guy in like a black jumpsuit was like kinda rapping, but not really. It was like he had a weird song like Octorok's Tech Tights, Levers too, and all this.
Yeah. And at the end it had that old American Nintendo slogan of "Get your parents to hook it up."
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
This is all new to me. I've never heard of these.
Oh, well, I really shouldn't know about this because I only discovered this years later through YouTube because the original Nintendo never really hit Europe.
Whoa. Damn it!
Geez. nasty boss.
That was a jerk move.
I think one of my favorite older game commercials had to have been, let's see, either the Berserk commercial for the Atari or Pole Position, where it's just like the family is just out there, like, it's like this having loud announcers just screaming, "What are you doing? We're going out and doing boring stuff," and they like do this weird. It's so bizarre.
And there's so many things I'm now paying tribute to 80s and 90s ads like that. It's an aesthetic that we're recovering.
See, this is all beyond me. I think this actually, like, I don't remember any of this.
I only remember the Super Mario RPG and Smash Brothers ones just because I don't know why I saw them so many times, but apparently I did. And the other ones I read through, I sort of stuck with me. And then the ones I was just talking about, the Atari ones, I saw through YouTube because I was playing Atari games one year when I went to MagFest, and we ended up watching the commercials.
Ah.
Shadowhog just reminded me of something, or Shadowhog, or I think it's Shadowhog. Pole Position, I think, had a cartoon show back in the day too, if I remember.
Wow.
Really?
Faintly remember that.
Isn't it a racing game?
Yes, it is a racing game.
What do you...
Oh, I don't know.
Then.
We had Speed Racer back then, I guess.
Okay,
And
good
Wacky
point,
Races.
good point. The only game cartoon I remember is the god-awful Donkey Kong Country cartoon. Oh, God.
Oh, wow, I don't remember that.
I remember
It's-
some of
You're
that.
better off
CGI.
not remembering it. It's nightmarish.
There's some
It
really
was
bad
early
stuff in there.
CGI,
Ooh.
Yeah.
and they loved having musical numbers.
They did! It was an experience. Not one I would wish on anyone.
I still see these gaps from it and stuff. It's so bizarre still. Like, even knowing it's retro, it's kind of like, why?
I used to, when I was young, I used to watch the Dragon Warrior cartoon show. Or Dragon Quest, I should say. But, and then it, like, because each episode was named after, like, it was, like, level 1, level 2, level 3 and stuff. But it ended at 12, and I never found out what happened since then. Something to look up someday. But anyway. Alright, this boss gave me a lot of trouble. I remember him back in the day.
What the hell is that thing?
I don't know. I actually don't know what you would name this boss.
Okay, so you can go between the legs at least.
Yeah, that's what tripped me up, and because I remember that specifically being like, wait a minute, how do you do this? The boss of this level, this isn't the boss, this is the mini boss, but I remember the boss of this level also gave me a ton of headaches, but we'll see what happens this time.
On Weird Retro, I'd say one thing I only saw via YouTube was, I can totally understand why nobody bought an NES in Australia, because apparently their ads for it were fucking terrifying.
Really?
Terrifying? Like, how so?
It had these kind of robot-voiced, grim, floating 8-bit, Bowser and Duck Hunt faces just going, "You cannot beat us. We are
Damn it.
Nintendo."
Oh god!
Ow,
Wow.
That's kind of awesome, though.
That is!
Nintendo would never allow that anymore.
Oh no. Is this the boss? Or
This is the boss, yeah. And I had a lot of trouble with this boss. Why did I have a lot of trouble? Oh, because he has... That's right. It's just a fourth attack here, and this is the one you can hit him on. But the problem is he has, like, 3 forms, actually. Even though he's on the third boss. And the second form is what kills me. Because it has a weird... kinda lazy chase algorithm. I don't even know if that's really a thing. It's just a thing I said once, and then Beatus picked up on it, and now I hear people say it maybe it is a thing, and I made it, I don't know.
Well, that's like where it just sort of, it kind of follows you, but it doesn't follow you very well.
Right,
Which can trip you up, right?
Yeah, it's like kind of, it's accelerative in a way, so it'll overshoot you, but then compensate. Yeah, yeah, so here it is. And then it just landed on me, so there's that part. Yeah, see, like there.
You zigged when you should have zagged.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay, yeah,
really
that's-
hard to gauge it.
That is...
Yeah.
Okay, so it kind of tries to overshoot you, but then undershoot you.
Yeah, it's weird.
I see. Yeah, that is tricky.
Alright, I gotta...
Basically, you gotta lead it forward, but then not go too far back to avoid it because it dodges backwards.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, that got rough quick.
Yeah, it did. Let's see. Let's try it. Alright, let's try that again. What were we talking about before then? The Australian ads being like snatchers and stuff?
Oh, basically.
It was weirder than that. It was like imagine a 8-bit pixelated Bowser just in 3D floating menacingly in the middle of the screen with this dark robot voice saying, "We are Nintendo, you cannot beat us."
That's kind of awesome.
Okay then.
Do you think that was like a VHS tape they sent Sega for some reason back in the day?
Well, I mean,
those were the days back when you had the Sega Master System and you had that one friend with the Sega Master System. Everybody had the Nintendo more or less when
same here.
When I was a kid, I had a friend with a Sega Master System.
Yeah, me too.
My parents wouldn't let me have consoles, so.
Oh, I had the NES, and I was so happy with like Super Mario Brothers back in the day, and he had Zillion, which I thought was the coolest thing ever because it was like kind of a spy game, like in the future, and there was like laser barriers and shit, and I wanted that one game, and then I look at it now, and I'm like, wow, that looks terrible. Speaking of terrible.
I think I grew up with the first it was Nintendo, then I somehow got a Genesis, then Super Nintendo at the same time. So I was playing between like Sonic and Mario, and then Tetris Attack all of a sudden became my game.
Basically, you were the kid who everyone wanted to be their friend.
Kind of.
You had everything.
And until the N64 era, where I only had a PlayStation, and then I hardly had any games, so that didn't really matter.
I always had a decent PC, but my first ever console was the Sega Saturn.
Saturn?
Yep. Followed by the N64, which was really bad in Europe because we had both massive price gouging. Some games were like up to £70, which is like $110.
Yikes.
Oh, jeez.
Every time I hear about the old games and stuff, it's like I hear the prices, I'm like, they cost that much? We spent that much on games?
But then
European prices for N64 stuff were nuts. And also the games ran slower and had big black borders on the top and bottom of the screen.
Was that the whole NTSC PAL thing?
Yeah. Oh, thank fuck, that's gone.
Wait, I thought PAL games ran faster. Or they ran slower.
No, PAL ran at a lower refresh rate and a higher resolution. But in converting this, basically, we get a squashed image and the timing is off.
Oh, fun.
Did you ever hear of, what is it? You know Shadow of the Beast? Damn it! I don't know if you ever heard of that game.
Oh yeah, that was like Amiga. I also had a friend who had an Amiga and always wanted that because his games were far better looking.
The Genesis version of Shadow of the Beast apparently Shadow of the Beast is an incredibly hard game because it's one life, like no power-ups continues or anything. It was just like game over if you died.
Amiga games were so cruel because they were basically Commodore 64 games with better graphics.
And what was I saying about it? So anyway, the Genesis version apparently came out in Europe first, I think. I might be mixing it up, but they didn't fix the PAL to NTSC issue, so it's actually much, much harder.
If not impossible, right?
Yeah, it's not impossible. People have done it, but like, in fact, I think Vicus did it for the hard games thread. Like, it's just like it's just a big pain in the ass game to begin with, and then there's that. Okay, let me capture on this boss here.
And the entire Shadow of the Beast series, I wouldn't ever say they're good games, but they have really good art direction.
They do. I've only ever played the first one.
How many were there?
3,
I
I think.
And also, there's apparently a new one coming for modern consoles.
let me look. Oh wow, the third one. Jesus Christ, I'm younger. Guys, the third one came out when I was born. Christ.
They were.
And there's a new one. Yeah, there's a new one that was announced in 2013 for the PS4.
Wow.
It seems like that's a big thing recently. Like people just deciding to remake old games for new systems.
I think. Well, I mean,
it looks like more of a total reimagining.
Yeah.
I do not think anyone would ever want to play Shadow of the Beast again.
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, it seems like there's a lot of things now where it's like, oh, suddenly we got our hands on this old property. Let's remake it.
I guess the nostalgia.
Like you had
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, you had that one I think you played, the one with the castle and the talking skull. Was that you?
Shadowgate.
Yes, that's it.
Yep. And there was no talking skull in the original Shadowgate, FYI. Damn it! Suck at this level. No, yeah, Shadowgate,
Remember
that-
Fandango got remastered?
That's
Released
true.
Just recently.
Yeah, it just came out, I think.
I never
Although
got
that one was a big one because apparently, like, LucasArts got bought off by Disney, and they were like, "Oh, we don't know if we can get the rights to the game," and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, "Yep, here we go, you got the rights." That was kind of a big shocker for everyone.
I actually have still never played Grim Fandango.
Neither have I. I probably should
Same.
pick up remastered though. I hear it's pretty good.
Yeah, my roommate actually goes on about it a lot, but I've never played it.
I've only played like a third of it, unfortunately, but it's like, really sharply written. It's not really kind of puzzle intensive. It's more of a story driven point and click.
Yeah, what, Pulahoko keeps wanting me to play it. But he's like a huge Tim Schafer fan. I don't blame him. Tim Schafer's a creative dude.
Yep.
Oh dear. Let's see here. Ty Tuesday really hated the new Shadowgate, which I gotta be frank, I wasn't really my bag at all. It's the nicest way I could put that. Why?
Oh, right at the end.
Ah.
Oh my god.
Forgot all about it. Jesus.
That's
Yeah,
the person the bosses try to kill you right as they die.
The weird thing is, I think Contra as a series has way more games than most people are aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean,
isn't
there's-
there's like
A few that people have barely ever played, like there was a top-down one.
Legacy of War.
We do not speak of that one. There was a good top-down one.
Contra Adventure.
No, we really do not speak of that one. It was on PS2. It was no.
Oh,
yeah,
Neo Contra.
Yes, it wasn't amazing, but it was pretty good.
I never played it.
But
I-
also, the last Contra game it didn't even have the Contra name. It was Hardcore Uprising on the PS3 and 360.
Yeah, I never. I wanted to play it, but I never did. There's also isn't there Contra Rebirth? I think for the Wii, or the Wii.
Oh yes. It's basically kind of more of hardcore, basically. It has a really weird self-aware sense of humor. Like the very first level, you begin by airdropping into a space station via helicopter.
okay.
Nice. What do you call it? Actually, I actually did play Legacy of War, and that was a really bad Contra. That was maybe one of the worst Contras.
It is widely regarded as one of the worst games on the PlayStation
nice.
at all.
Yeah, that's a good reaction, I think.
There you go.
Yikes. Alright, there we are.
See, weren't there some Contras on like the DS or something? Or
Contra
were those not
4?
spoken of either?
No, Contra 4 was,
There's some weirdly barely associated ones, like there was Contra Force on the NES, which I think got featured in a couple of HDQ Bad Games blocks.
You know what the thing about Contra 4 though is too? It was weird because the whole verticality of the DS double screened or whatever. But like Contra is typically a horizontal shoot 'em up, you know, because it's a side scroller more or less. So it was just very odd, you know.
You have to really wrap your head around the new play space, don't you?
Yeah.
Try like making it like a horizontal one, but on going up like this stage, or is it like a top-down shooter?
A little. No.
Contra 4 on the DS was basically just straight Contra, but the playfield spans both screens.
Oh god, that sounds miserable.
It works pretty well. You just have to, you know, adjust the way you're looking at the game. It's not kind of widescreen; it's verti-screen.
So certain things were a little tricky. Like there's one level where you were surfing and or you were riding a jet ski or something, and the top screen was like where you were surfing and you're doing stuff, and the bottom screen was underwater. So there'd be like things jumping up out of the water after you and things like that. You know, it was kind of a neat thing. It's a little tricky actually playing it on the console because you have the hinge. So it was kind of like the physical hinge, I mean. So it was a little tricky to gauge like if something was going to change screens exactly like where it would be, you know? Does that make any sense?
I think in some games they even like didn't even get that accurate. Like some games the hinge would like be instant from top screen to bottom, and other games it act like the hinge
problem
was
is
there and go
because
down.
there were multiple versions of the DS.
Yeah.
With slightly different hinge gaps.
Oh, that would do it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like you had the DS Lite, the really old DS, the massive one. And you had all the other god knows how many DSs.
And then
So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they never standardized the gap.
And then you had that really good Contra game, Feel the Magic, for the DS. Got it in a second. No,
But Contra 4 was developed by WayForward,
Yep.
and so basically the guys who went on to make Shovel Knight,
Really?
and also apparently a lot of the sprite work was by Konjac,
Oh.
the Two Love guy.
Wow.
Wow. I suck at that boss. Who's got Konjac, that dude. You know, I actually did I finish? Yeah, I did finish No I Do Love. That's right. And yeah, Shovel Knight friggin' completely rules. I wonder if they're gonna. They haven't announced anything yet, I'm sure, but
Actually, they announced one of those extra stories recently.
say what?
Yeah, remember the Kickstarter goals were like they were gonna give some other character story modes. Plague Knight story was announced recently.
Yeah, they're doing free updates for Shovel Knight still.
Was Plague Knight he was the potion knight, right?
Yeah, he was the little guy with the potion. They're doing Plague Knight, King Knight, and what was his name? Spectre Knight, the scythe guy.
Yeah, like the Castlevania kind of level.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Shovel Knight. I should play that again.
Shovel Knight's a really good game. I really love it.
It is.
It's one of those retro games that actually nails why it's retro feeling perfectly.
Well,
Like
it was kind of spawned, as far as I'm aware, from a schism at WayForward, because they were working on the DuckTales game, weren't they?
yeah,
Oh, that's right.
And then a lot of their and then a lot of their prime creative team left under strange circumstances, and then suddenly Shovel Knight, a game that happens to have DuckTales' pogo jumping, appears in development.
That
There
is
you go.
interesting, actually. Shovel Knight ripped off of DuckTales. I see exactly what you're saying.
Of course.
Start that level over. But wow. What do you call it? Actually, you know, it's funny. I used to really like the DuckTales video game when I was a kid. But
it was good. It was like Capcom quality.
Totally. Then they had Chippendale's Rescue Rangers, and I finished that in like a day, and I was so unhappy. But... oh well, it happens, I guess.
That has
seems
fantastic
like a lot
music.
It seems like a lot of the Disney games were like really variable quality.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they basically threw the license at whoever wanted to make a Disney game at the time, and sometimes it ended up with Capcom, other times it ended up with like whoever.
Right.
Some random no-name developer.
Oh god, I'm remembering there was this terrible Nintendo Disney game where you were like Mickey and Minnie simultaneously. Like she would kind of like clone your moves, but like it didn't quite work with platforming and she'd get killed and then... Oh god, I gotta look that up after this.
Could be one of those amazing adventure games. I know they have like 5 of those, 3 of them. Something like that.
Then there was actually a really good, Genesis Disney games were really good. They had like, it's not like Billy MC here. They had like Quackshot and,
Castle of Illusion, which got a remake recently.
Yeah. Oh, it did?
Yeah, it's on PS3 and 360.
I think it's also on Steam, isn't it?
Yeah,
Nice
yeah,
touch.
PC as well.
Damn.
It seems like a lot of the Genesis ones were Capcom, though, right? Or was it the other way around? Like a lot of the SNES ones are Capcom.
I don't remember, honestly. No, the SNES ones were definitely Capcom. I don't remember who the Genesis one was. Might have even been Sega. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll have to look it up on Wikipedia one day. But not today.
I'm sure someone in chat is looking it up for you right now.
Sometime when you remember.
Do you know that rich streamers, like, their chat, like, brings them things? It's crazy. But,
What?
it's not me. No, if you get, like, really good at streaming, your chat does not only just look stuff up for you, but they do things for you, like servants. It's awesome.
Huh.
If you're rich.
Someday. I see.
Yeah.
I gotta keep that in mind.
I don't
Start streaming.
I don't want that kind of power, though. So don't tell your friends.
That's reverse psychology, don't listen to him.
Yeah, so back on the subject of Contra, there was a Hardcore Uprising, which
Oh,
was developed by the Guilty Gear developers, and it's technically a prequel to Hardcore.
Oh, that's right.
But it has like the art style and the music are like 100% Guilty Gear. It is kind of a weird retro anime look with aggressive Japanese metal music. But also, if you enter the Konami code while the first level's loading, it replaces the first level theme with the original Contra theme.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's really cool, actually. Damn it, I don't know how to really handle that attack.
Also, it has some of the most amazingly bad voice acting you have ever heard of. I think they actually had the Japanese cast record their lines in English phonetically.
Oh, that's awesome! That's like my favorite thing.
I think for the little machine gun shot the spider did, I think you have to like start at one end and just rush to the other. Other than that, you're screwed.
This guy's a little tricky now, unfortunately, because...
What does that goo stuff do? Does it like kill you?
Yes. Oh,
Ooh, you're painting yourself into a corner there.
good. That's right, but... Thankfully there's...
What in the world?
I forgot all about that, yeah.
The
Wow.
spider's balls dropped.
What the
There you
hell?
go.
That's... Wait, why are...
That's how spiders work, right?
Do you ever look at your chat then and you're just like, wait, what the hell is everyone talking about? Because somebody's talking about, like, lots of Tita, and I think they mean boobs, but I don't know. Anyway, sorry. It's a very weird thing to look over at. Anyway, yeah, alright, so this spider boss is I think, about the farthest I've ever gotten in this game. I think I beat him once, but, sorry, so what was your plan with the machine gun attack there, guys?
Basically, I think what you want to do is right after you kill that thing in its web, you want to try and get over to the right side, because it dropped down from the right and just kind of strafed left. But right before it hit the end, it kind of pulled up. So maybe if you start far right, you can just kind of run just ahead of it and get out of the way before it pulls up.
I see. Alright, so let's start on the right. No, that's cool. Let's give it a shot. So to speak. Ho ho. Oh dear. Ah. Okay, cool. So what do you think of this game, you three?
It's
It is
interesting.
nostalgia-rific.
Oh.
Very, very nostalgia.
I like the spider level a lot for some reason. It's very like because the rest of the game you can tell is like total love letter to Contra, but this one's kind of getting trapped
Original?
there. Yeah, it's kind of like its own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Yeah. Seems like a lot of the levels have some of those little traps like that, where if you try not to rush in, you're just gonna die, though.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I gotta watch out for that.
Just remember, let's attack aggressively.
Oh God, yeah. I love Contra 3 so much. Shattered Soldier is another one I should probably finish at some point, but that one's like just so much rote memorization.
It's definitely more of a memorization game, but especially the final section, which I am not kidding. It is like 15 bosses back to back.
I've seen video of it. It looks like such a nightmare. Damn it.
That
Yeah,
It is the most ridiculous boss rush I have ever seen,
Whoa.
outside of like Alien Soldier.
Oh.
Even Alien Soldier had breaks through a couple of enemies between bosses.
Oh, you know,
Yeah.
what's his face? Tron Maximum, TJ Thomas. He wants to
Yep.
he wants to Alien Soldier race me. Can you believe that?
he doesn't know what he's getting into.
No, he doesn't. He's going down, that motherfucker. No, he might be at IndieCade East, which is right by me, and which a friend of mine actually runs. But
DKE, that's not familiar.
it's like a little like indie game kind of thing. They do it at the Museum of the Moving Image in Manhattan. You said right side, by the way.
Yeah, but it looks like I was wrong. I thought the spider came down on the right side, but
Maybe.
he's not doing the little machine gun. Oh no, there he
Yeah.
goes.
And there we go.
It worked.
Yeah, that was an incremental dodge kind of thing. There we go. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so this time around, maybe we got a good shot at this. Wait, what is this attack? That's right. Watch out for that.
It's where he starts dropping the goo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so ooh dear. Yeah, no, that was stupid of me.
When you said incremental dodge, there reminded me that I am, as anyone who knows me will be able to say, I am like a Doom addict and have been for the past 20 years.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's basically a first-person shmup when you're dealing with enemies with spread shots or direct attacks. You do incremental dodges. And whenever you see something with a fast spread, you make a big, wide, sweeping move round the side.
Huh.
Interesting.
No, I have not played Doom in forever, too.
It really doesn't play like any modern shooter. It is a first-person shmup.
I remember it like back in the day. I wonder why. Well, all right, so they only really what do you call it? The zombies guys only have they're the ones with the hit scan weapons, right? Everything else is more or less just like projectiles.
Yeah, absolutely everything is projectiles except for the zombie eyes.
What do you call it? How was Doom 3, by the way?
And
Remember, you gotta rush right here because that little ledge is a kill box.
they kind of tried to make it into a survival horror shooter. It feels like, well, every other standard modern shooter, really.
It's a shame.
Fine.
Yeah, I never actually, I've never played it. I was kind of interested in it, but then I heard there were like audio logs and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. That doesn't seem quite right for Doom, but you know.
Nah. Doom is one of those games where you just pretty much just load it up, just go kill him. That's be it.
Doom
Not a
Doom
story,
is a
not
pure
anything.
Yeah.
arcade game. And
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, modern Doom levels just push things to insane limits.
Oh yeah, I remember you
Like,
showing. Good.
Yeah, there's some levels I've played which have like 4,000 enemies on a single map.
Wow.
Wow.
And it's they have like Z Doom now, right? Where it's like full-fledged 3D.
Well, that's the most common of the source ports, so that you can set it to look just like classic Doom with higher resolution if you want. But technically the engine does support things like rooms on top of rooms,
Yeah.
because the original was actually not 3D at all. It was a raycaster.
Yep.
I don't know that term actually.
Basically, rather than it being polygons, it fakes kind of a spread of invisible rays coming from your. Think as if the game was a top-down viewed shooter, and there's this fan coming out of your front, and wherever that fan hits a wall, it draws the pixels for that wall.
Oh, okay.
It would make like vertical strips, more or less, for each ray casted, or cast rather. Excuse me. Yeah. So that's like, as you notice, like the thing about Doom, you couldn't have like Don said, like rooms on top of rooms, or bridges would always be solid underneath because it was really 2D on the back end. You know, it was just. It
was literally a top-down overhead shooter, just faked into 3D.
Yeah, and what was it? So like Wolfenstein 3D used like the same trick, except that had everything at 90-degree angles, whereas Doom supported like angles, Yeah,
and Wolfenstein was on a fixed square grid, whereas Doom had vector points.
God, I feel so smart. No, it's like the only bit of game programming stuff I knew. No, back in the day, like those teach yourself game programming guides all had like how Doom really did it and everything.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I've seen that it's like kind of these guys to like write a raycaster in like under 100 lines or something.
Yeah.
That's how basic the technology is. It is just a single small page of code.
Yep. Damn it. But it's...
Can you touch the web of the things?
The web?
Or
the I know what you mean. Like the line, what am I trying to say here? The attach kind of point thing, yeah.
Yeah. Can you touch those, or is it like that's a kill zone too?
What am I doing? Shit. I don't know, actually, if you want to know the God's honest truth. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Thank God.
Unless it's got a third form.
You're restricting my movement, I should have mentioned. Whoa.
What hell?
What was that?
I guess that's a transition to the next level.
Well, now you get to be inside of a giant thing.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's gone back full Contra.
Yeah, this is total biomass, horrible Contra. Not horrible, but
Yeah.
Oh dear.
It's a style you really don't see in many modern games. They just can't really pull off the weird, slimy alien look.
Yeah. Dear. This maggot thing is
disgusting.
It is. Cool looking though. Well done, Super Cyborg.
Those things are probably in it. Oh, okay.
I guess I didn't have to shoot them. I don't know.
I was thinking they were gonna like drop down on you or something. Oh, I see.
You clever girl. That thing's just a mess.
God.
Kill me.
Why do I exist?
You're being attacked by an incredibly angry tumor inside the giant alien.
That's Contra. That's very Contra.
That is very Contra, yes. For my money, I think Shattered Soldier is also the grossest Contra.
Oh yeah. I kind of wish they'd kind of gone with that in games in general, because now that I think about it, there is very little kind of weird alien body horror stuff nowadays.
Yeah, you're right.
They probably don't do it because it's kind of hard to render in comparison to blocks of buildings.
Also,
it's like requires tons of art assets involved.
Also, Giger passed away, and he was really the master of that. Alright. How are we gonna do this?
Basically, it looks like you gotta just run across them shooting kind of downward. Or maybe use the big charge shot thing.
That's a good idea. The only thing is, those bubbles, like, if they break, they release a named shot at you.
Oh. Whoa,
they also seem to be home in on you. Maybe not that much, but...
Right, but here we go. Yikes!
It's enough to be annoying.
Ah, I'm wondering. I can't really get a good look at these like foot soldier guys. Like I don't know. Are they wearing robes? They can't be.
No, those
No,
are
there's like-
they've got little weird tentacle legs.
Ah,
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of like made of goo or something.
dear.
maybe like the worms, like white blood cells or something. That'd be cool.
I mean, some games from the 16-bit era could be like really grim. Like the Splatterhouse series.
Ah, yeah.
Oh yeah. God, Splatterhouse.
Yeah. Thing is, would that ever get like green lighted today?
Splatterhouse.
Seems like
Not for kids, maybe, but
Yeah.
that's me. They did a modern Splatterhouse, which had. It was nowhere near as weird and gory and gross as the originals, but it did have gratuitous boobs. It's like-
That's why. That's why
They can render boobs, but they can't
Yeah.
really do the actual horror anymore.
Yeah, it just seems like a lot of game companies just avoid doing like outright like disgusting horror, and instead you get stuff like just Splatterhouse full of boobs.
I'm trying to think like what's the last
Well, I
really
think this-
gross
yeah.
game I played. Very good.
The Splathouse remake even went and made the Terror Mask a wisecracking buddy character.
Oh yeah. That's right. That was awful.
Lines like, hey,
So-
you
Oh.
can't spell slaughter without laughter.
This is true.
So basically, like that really terrible skull from Shadowgate.
yeah.
Pretty much.
And the
Gotta appeal to the kids somehow.
Yeah.
but
I blame
Shadowgate.
Jar Jar.
Shadowgate. But I mean, like, you know, the Terror Mask is not like a marketable character. Or it's like, oh, I want to see what further adventures with Terror Mask. You know, like.
Yeah, it makes you wonder why they did it. It's
Just to piss me off. You know, I saw maybe a regular playthrough of the new Splatterhouse. It was kind of like just a crappy beat 'em up kind of thing, you know.
yeah, and the thing is, like a lot of enemies, you cannot kill them unless you do these kind of pointless-looking mandatory finishing moves on them. Very God of War.
You know, say what you will, I didn't really mind God of War series.
I didn't
God
mind
of
it
War
either,
was
just
fine
as-
when it's throwing these big set pieces at you, but when it starts repeating itself,
Oh
it
yeah.
really repeats itself.
I've never played it, although I want to try and pick it up just to try it out because
Yeah, see, like, it just seems like after the first two games, it was just sort of... Oh, Kratos is the big badass guy who kills all the things.
It,
And
Just
then he
sort
kills
of-
all the things.
yeah,
He literally kills all the things.
he does. I mean, the one thing they are good at, like, very big set piece stuff, you know, like, and the third game where you're primarily fighting Greek gods is kind of like a real, like, you know what I mean, like, they do very cool stuff with, except for Zeus, which I think was kind of a weirdly missed opportunity, but whatever. I was not a fan of the final fight, although, anyway, you know what it was? The first game, I feel like had the outstay its welcome problem, where you had like a lot of like big rooms full of enemies, or like the final stage I remember was this long slog hallway and stuff. I want to say it got better in 2 or 3, but I might be making that up.
Yeah, I'd say the second at least was an improvement. Third, yeah, kinda.
Yeah,
But it's
Didn't they
the
make
thing
like
is,
it's
the
no.
core gameplay never really got any further. Then they always have the exact same core formula.
Oh yeah, it is no platinum games. You know,
Yeah.
platinum game. Don't get me wrong.
yeah, I just
Yeah,
finished Metal Gear Rising, so it's like I'm really into those kind of games now after playing that.
Yeah. Well, the big thing is that like, because like Platinum kind of has the best of both worlds, where you have like these really cool set pieces, and the combat's like really interesting and awesome. You know.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
only thing
I-
I really don't like about those is that it scores me, and every single time I play a battle and I get a bad score, and I'm like, great, I need to redo that fight.
Oh, I know
But-
the feeling, yeah.
The
I
trick
just had
is
to
just
overcome that and
don't
be like,
even
get a-
try and care about scoring until you're on your second playthrough.
Yeah, I think the problem is that when I tried to play Revengeance, I accidentally watched like an LP of it, And the guy was getting S ranks in every damn fight, finding every.
Yeah, you were watching Chip and Ironics.
Yes, I was. I didn't want to name drop or anything.
Yeah, don't name drop those ass. No, I'm kidding.
Chip is phenomenally good.
Yeah, he is.
I know, and it's just sort of, oh, I'll never compare to him. Why am I playing this game again?
Yeah, I was watching
Because
the
it's
Wonderful
awesome,
101.
Because it's awesome and you get to cut a robot dinosaur in half.
Good point.
Yeah.
Is that like its intestines?
I think so. I think I might have seen this stage actually. Because I remember that part, but
Wasn't this a worm? Why is it like going all square now?
who knows?
It's bigger than it looks like. Oh, what the hell?
Whoa.
Oh, this is
Oh
clearly
my
it.
god!
Something.
This is. Oh my god! What the hell is this thing?
You know what this is? You never took biology?
Oh,
What's the liver, of course?
kind of reminds
course.
me of the
It's gotta
alien
keep an eye on
surgeons that they
whatever it
hatched in
takes care of.
Surgeon Simulator.
Gotta keep an eye on the eyes, all 5 of them.
You're given an alien, a set of alien surgical tools, and you're told to perform a gobble shaft replacement.
Of course.
And you're not told what part of it is the gobble shaft.
Oh dear. Oh, why did I do that?
Ah.
Shit. Alright. Last life. Let's see if I can get it here.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the game's. Like the game has that problem of if you die, you're basically stuck.
Not
mean,
really bad, because before continues, in older games especially, if you got continues and you used them all up, it was like, well, gotta start all over.
Yeah.
Have fun
Yeah.
getting stuck at one area.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like, it looks like if you run out of, if you don't have a good gun, like if you don't have like the machine gun or the spread gun, you can't really
Right.
damage that thing easily.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge problem in Hardcore Uprising. The default gun is unbelievably terrible.
Wow.
That does seem like it'd be a problem in a Contra game.
Yeah, totally. That's it. Well, it's the opposite problem in the Alien Wars, where your default gun is like phenomenal and like almost better than some of the power-up guns. You know. Well, wait, I shouldn't go there. Crush gun supremacy, but you know, whatever. I was gonna say no, yeah, like the default gun was like so awesome that you weren't screwed ever. You know, and
Yeah.
yeah, we should go back to that. Actually, that was a good thing. And I guess they sort of had a similar problem on Castlevania 4, because like the original whip we could do in 8 directions, and we never saw the light of day again. Like Konami was like, that's way too powerful for you, kids.
I think.
Oh
that
yeah, that thing was.
When you think about it, this is like a Konami sin throughout their entire existence.
You either get too powerful or not powerful enough, and never. They can't find like a good medium.
Yeah.
I mean, just like look at like Castlevania 3 compared to 4. In 3, you don't have an upgraded weapon. Sorry, you're screwed.
And yeah, the entire Gradius series.
Oh god, yeah. No, Gradius, once you lost a life, you were in a lot of trouble.
And Konami were cruel and unusual back in the day.
They were. Proteus wasn't so bad, if I remember, because Proteus you had like those bell power-ups and stuff. You know?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
We're back to
Oh,
War.
let us never, ever, ever speak of what happened to the Parodius series.
What happened to the Proteus series?
It became Utomedius.
Oh.
Wait, what did it become?
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was what was Gradius, was like Odomedius. You never heard of that?
No, what is Odomedius?
Oh,
It's
weird. Oh.
basically...
Okay, hang on. Let me say what it comes with. If you buy if you buy it, it comes with the body pillow.
Oh, so it's that kind of game.
It's basically Gradius shmup, but your anime
Radius
girls.
with tits.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's very pandering. Yeah.
I mean, you can't get much more pandering than if you pre-order this game, you get a free body pillow.
It wasn't even pre-order. It was just if you bought the game.
Oh.
Why?
It was apparently not even
I mean, I
as
know
a game
why.
as itself, like the gameplay, it was really bad because it did the horrible thing of the backgrounds blended with the foreground objects.
Oh god.
It's
So
a bad
basically,
game in general.
they committed
Yeah.
the cardinal sin of shmups. There is just
Yeah.
you can't fill the background from the foreground.
Here's blue bullets on a blue background.
That's like
Delightful.
unplayable though. I mean,
Well, I think at that point they weren't going for playability. They were
Yes.
going for.
good point.
It wasn't, as far as I can gather, it isn't a hard game at all. It's just it's badly designed and lazy, and it's just an excuse to have Vic Viper replaced by a bikini anime girl with a Vic Viper hole worn around her waist.
A big Viper.
Ah.
What? Worn around her waist?
Hull.
Kind of big, yeah.
Basically, Brian Vic Viper as like a skirt, basically.
What?
A Vic Viper patterned like bikini, I guess, maybe.
I know, but no. I mean, I hear the words you're saying.
It's just
it's a
can't
different kind
comprehend.
of what? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that, other than like, yeah, people will buy this, and people did, but they still didn't like it. Well, some
I'm
probably did.
pretty
but-
sure that very few people bought it in the end because, I mean, the series has been dead since.
Yeah,
Well, at least it didn't sell well enough to get a sequel.
yeah, that's
I mean, better to let it sort of die peacefully.
I think there was at least one sequel, but yeah.
I'm sorry.
Gotta
What?
beat the.
Oma Parodius or Oma
Otomedius.
Automedius.
Otomedius. That is so weird. I mean,
And
his
yeah,
Parodius.
that's how Radius died.
You mean that's you didn't say that's how Gradius died.
Well,
Oh,
probably
no.
both Gradius too.
Radius and
Aw.
Parodius at the same time. Because that's the thing, it looks and sounds kind of like a Parodius game until you realize that it's not so much parodying as it is pandering.
Yeah, because I mean, Sexy Parodius had a little bit of pandering to it, but it was like mostly a joke, you know.
Oh, it was absolutely a joke. I really don't think there was anything in Sexy Parodius more risque than the dancer boss in like the SNES Parodius.
Right, and even the dancer boss too was like kind of a joke on what is it, Elephant Core in
Yeah, it's the crab walker thing.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh shit.
That's not good.
and they're slowly firing more too. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, they fire more with each eye that goes out. The next one will shoot 5 at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems shmups
There
are
we go.
entirely the
Boom.
norm of the indie now.
I'm fine with that. Give me more shmups.
Yeah, it just seems like a lot of like the mainstream developers don't do shmups anymore. You're right.
Well, they're too busy rebooting things like Thief and doing it the wrong
Yeah.
way.
Mm-hmm.
They're too busy beating dead horses.
I'm surprised. What was the last like official Star Fox game that came out? It's like the closest. I can think of.
Star Fox Command for the DS, which sold
Yeah.
terribly.
Oh.
But no, they're releasing a new one for the
What the-
Wii U,
yeah.
seemingly. Oh, it's a
Yeah.
top-down stage.
That
Okay.
it is. It looks almost like Teenage
I guess
Mutant.
it is a Contra game.
You're right. It's almost like
I've
yeah.
I've only just heard about the new Star Fox,
Oh.
but apparently Miyamoto is in charge, so
Yeah, I remember they announced it at the last E3, but because someone like seemingly they were going to show something, but then Time Magazine like leaked the announcement roster, so instead they just had Miyamoto talk about it and blurred out the screen that was going to show it.
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
Basically, don't piss off Nintendo.
More or less.
I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, and wasn't Star Fox basically a British team overseen by Miyamoto?
Oh. That does sound a little familiar now that you mention it.
Maybe.
It wasn't Rare. No.
No. Rare did Donkey Kong
it was,
Country, and I think Miyamoto
began with
hated that.
A Argonaut or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. What the hell?
I think they're gonna like try and get near you and explode. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear. This big. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, toxic waste. Why?
Yeah, I can practically hear someone in chat correcting me on getting the studio wrong or something there.
Oh right, they did have one on the They did re-release 64 on the 3DS. Yeah. Tengu Gamimi is right. I think that's how you pronounce that name.
Yeah, I think I remember that, but like I don't really count remakes so much because
Yeah.
it's just the same game.
Yeah.
And
all
that's
they
what Nintendo does all the time. Like,
They do, and people buy into it super hard. God knows I'm guilty of it.
There are times where I'm okay
They're
with
good
that,
games.
and then there are other times where I'm just like, okay, did they really need to remake that already? Wind Waker. I mean, I love Wind Waker, but did they really need to make Wind Waker first?
Yeah, but hey, they're finally releasing Majora's Mask, so I'm happy.
I never really got into Majora's Mask. I remember getting stuck at one part and having to restart time over and over just to figure it out, and I think I stopped there, but...
Oh yeah, did you hear they also showed off the new DLC for Hyrule Warriors, so Slowbeef's kinda missing out since he gave that game away.
No.
He gets to play as Tingle.
Well, I mean, like, keep in mind too, I'm not giving away my own copy of it. I'm buying some whole new one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying.
Oh.
You get
As
to
I
play as
mentioned
Tingle
in
and he
the-
looks friggin'
As I mentioned in
horrifying.
the Hyrule Warriors stream, Tingle's own game is actually really super good. And it
The
never got
Tingle's-
released in America.
Something rupee something
Yeah.
something.
Freshly picked Rupee Land, or something like that. It's a really long title. And it's kind of like the darkest humor Nintendo has ever done.
Really?
Yeah,
The
the
Tingle?
absolutely. The entire game is basically about Tingle begins as a normal, middle-aged loser who is tricked into taking up this strange outfit and traveling to a world that is basically fueled by money. And his goal is to pay off an enormous loan.
Huh.
Wow.
Interesting.
And your health is money, the timer is money, everything is money.
Oh, man, that actually
So
sounds like
basically
a really cool
Wario
concept.
Land. Basically Wario Land.
Only it's the art style is kind of like Bizarro Zelda. The whole thing is slightly dark and twisted, and everything is slightly wrong, and every character hates you.
Interesting. That's definitely a weird way to go for Tingle. I mean,
Why does every character hate Tingle?
it's Tingle.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No, because everyone is awful. It's like, oh yeah, you can't even talk to NPCs without bribing them. The thing is, you don't know what their bribe required is.
Oh God.
So the thing is, if you bribe too low, they just take your money and you have to start the whole process again.
Wow.
If you bribe too high, you lose all that excess money.
Oh jeez.
To be fair, they did that
That's
in the
crazy.
original Legend of Zelda too. There was that old woman, just pay me and I'll talk, and it's like, this ain't enough to talk. Damn it!
Yeah. Well, they extended that to basically every character in the game.
Delightful.
Am I hitting this thing or screw it? I don't care.
Looks like besides that one, you can just slip by him too.
Yeah, it's just like screw it.
And you feel like you need to kill everything. It's instinct.
Yeah, I'm in the top-down shoot 'em up kind of section too, so
Mm-hmm.
you know, instincts kicking in. Joe brings up a good point. Why wouldn't you hate Tingle? This is true.
Yeah, they.
The game kind of makes you feel sympathy for him because he's kind of the only normal person in this setting.
That's really saying
Yeah, and-
something too.
Yeah. That's
But that's the thing, he
fun.
starts out before he wears his iconic green suit. And he is just a balding, middle-aged, down-on-his-luck guy.
That's really sad.
Aw, poor Tingle.
Yep.
Shit, I
Still
didn't.
still doesn't forgive him for being a price gouging fuck in Majora's Mask, but
Well, at least you
Also-
understand where he learns
Yeah.
those traits.
I guess.
So I'm doing a tricky timing challenge here.
Mm-hmm. Or the toxic goo, huh?
Yeah. fuck?
It looks like a rib cage.
That's a rib cage.
Well, you were just in a worm, and there was another worm, so it might be ribcage of the worm, which makes no sense because worms don't have bones.
Maybe snakes?
Well, it's an alien, and did you see that thing inside it? I don't think worms have that either.
I guess. I want more realism in my games. What do you want?
I want more realism in my aliens. How dare they?
My super cyborg aliens. Damn it. Go on. Yeah, but oh, did you see Nintendo now has their own YouTube?
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
is that the one they were doing all the
it's not-
direct streams on?
Yeah, yeah, I gotta take down, and that reminds me of my Hyrule Warriors video, because, damn it. Now, basically, they'll,
About content from Nintendo.
yeah, so you can get paid and everything, like you do on YouTube. You know, it's not that kind of deal, but, like, if you
I
gotta...
think it is actually just a YouTube sponsorship deal. They've got the YouTube logo on it.
Oh, it does. Oh, maybe... Okay. Because as I understood it, there was, like, a new URL, but maybe it's just,
Well, Nintendo has their own YouTube channel, but you can also get permission to be like, hey, I'm uploading a YouTube video, as long as you put, like, certain things in the video, like, say, this is a Nintendo game, but it's not endorsed by Nintendo, I have the rights to use it, something like that, and you can still make revenue off of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's basically just a sign-up page to register your YouTube channel.
Oh, well, that's nice at least.
Yeah, maybe I'll take a look at that. I only read a little bit about it on Twitter, honestly, but...
Yeah, I only just saw it for like a minute or two before we started rolling out for this stream.
God damn it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say maybe he's invincible. You just have to run by him, but nope,
Yeah.
you can kill him.
God, this is a long stage.
Use.
Probably to make up for the lack of enemies.
I think the next stage is the last, so
Wow.
so much for 72 hours.
Well, you know, maybe there's some kind of hard difficulty unlock or something. We could always do that deal. Who knows? The
Unlock
world...
like a nightmare mode or something.
Yeah,
You gotta give away a copy unless you can one CD it.
right, yes. Not good. Not gonna happen. That one's a little too much even for me. Even for me. Like, no, I'm kidding.
Freaking laser turrets.
Compared to Crimson Clover, this looks like a walking park.
It's true. It's just I'm a little slow. I've been practicing Crimson Clover 1cc with the other ships now too, because I'm just like a man obsessed.
Oh.
But
Ah, you're supposed to stay outside their range. I see.
So,
Well, you can't do it the first time you see those turrets, so you kind of...
buying that DLC the second it's released, huh?
oh yeah. Well, actually, yeah.
What DLC?
Crimson Clover DLC.
No.
Actually, Blackbird offered me a copy, so I was like, "All right, you got it." Just
Oh, Thinker at the boss. Maybe.
With no lives.
Yeah.
This is gonna be rough.
It's gonna be tricky.
Is what?
I was hoping
Giant alien.
All right, I know he's
Crap.
gonna reach with those claws. The question is it first or is it left or right or
Or
lasers.
laser.
laser?
No, you could always have the laser claws.
I guess it's a crab, but it also has buzzsaws.
All right, I can
See,
deal
I
with.
wonder if you. No, you can't. I was gonna say, I wonder if you could stay right in the middle and avoid the lasers, but it doesn't look like you can. Ooh, he swings out too. Ah, tricky.
Uh
Oh,
oh. What? Oh dear.
Oh, good
That.
lord.
Oh.
you could probably... Look,
I wonder if you can like shoot the middle of him or something.
They're not gonna make me
Like,
start
shoot
this whole thing over. Are
It
they?
looks like the easiest way to dodge that is like move over to the very far left.
Screw
Yeah.
They're
that.
definitely gonna make you do the whole level over.
I think I've played enough for tonight then.
Ah,
Well, I'll try
Yeah,
with
that's
more
fair
stuff on
enough.
the plug
That's just
things,
rude.
But yeah, that's a long level to redo again. So, does anybody have any last words, things they want to plug, etc.?
Not really. Not really. I guess I do have a YouTube channel that actually has content now, so I suppose I should plug that.
You need to. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
It's Stack Underflow is what we're going by, so
Stack,
just YouTube.
Stack Underflow?
Mm-hmm.
You're a programmer, aren't you?
No, but the guy in charge of the channel, who it's basically me and a couple friends doing it. So the guy in charge of the channel is, so he decided the name.
Yeah. Stack
He's the one
Overflow.
that
You know Stack Overflow,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So,
I do. I know that little. I know that much at least.
yeah. That's like where all the programmers copy paste their code from nowadays. But cool stuff. Aw.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Basically, just got Wario Land 4 and Wolf Among Us on it right now. That's currently ongoing, but it's something.
I still get to play Wolf Among Us.
I hear
Seemingly,
it's
it's very good if you like the little sort of adventure games like that.
I know
The sort of
yeah.
Telltale style adventures. Yeah.
I still have yet to finish Walking Dead episode 1 because I have the PS3 version and there's like major frame rate issues, which I think is ludicrous considering everything's pre-rendered. I mean, not pre-rendered, but you know where fucking everything is going to be, so it's not like.
Oh yeah, the earlier Telltale engines are like held together with spit and duct tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they sold well enough. They got some.
There
But
you go.
the later ones are real good.
I'm just saying. But alrighty.
Oh yeah, there was one thing I could think of mentioning. 1 second.
Sure.
So, as I was going to say right at the start of the stream, I've been playing quite a bit of Phantasy Star Online 2, which technically hasn't been released in English, but the English community have basically come up with a full installer / auto patcher for an English version.
Wow, that's impressive. What system is that for? I know the original
PC.
Phantasy Star Online. Oh, I
And
remember the
it's-
original one was like GameCube and Dreamcast, right?
Yeah, it was Dreamcast, and then GameCube was way later. But yeah, here I've just linked to oxlayer.com, which is the English community site, and it may be a Japanese game, but the sign-up process is easy aside from what they consider the final boss of sign-up. You have to get past a Japanese capture.
Ooh,
Oh.
tricky.
It really isn't as hard as it sounds. You just need to use a visual keyboard and click the symbols you see. But it takes a couple of minutes of concentration.
Yeah.
Is it just kana or
Um,
like is it or these are Japanese like real deal characters? Oh, but there's a captcha, so it's not even like regular looking. It's all distorted, right?
slightly.
Wow.
It's not that hard.
Sounds impossible. I need to try it.
It took me like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game is genuinely good. It's free to play. They used to lock away a bunch of stuff behind a paywall, but I recently just went back and looked at it, and a lot of that stuff is now free for everyone. And it is a legitimately good sequel to Phantasy Star Online.
That's good.
I remember hearing people talk about it and be like, Sega, bring this over, or whoever was in charge, bring this over, and they just never listened to them.
There's an official English site, and it hasn't updated since 2012.
Wow.
Apparently, they were promoting it at PAX, and never mentioned it again.
Guess they just forgot about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know what company's in charge of Phantasy Star. I remember
Sega.
I got.
Yeah, it's Sega for it. In fact, they did a big Sonic themed event a while back.
What was it?
And then they released Sonic Boom. So, I don't know how well that.
Sonic Boom.
I think it was for Sonic Generations.
Speaking of Sonic,
mentioned
Sonic
Sonic
06.
Oh God.
Oh my god, I watched the part that was uploaded today. I started losing it when you were like noticing the copy-pasted parts.
That was incredible. I still remember that.
Oh,
That
I
game
need to
is a
check
work
that
of
out.
something. That's for sure. I was gonna say work of art, but I don't want to insult artists.
It's
They're finding new and interesting things wrong with Sonic Boom still, though. They just recently found that there are like debug switches
Oh yeah, like they somehow get underneath the level, and there's just switches that activate debug mode or stuff like that.
Oh, good lord, guys! They released Sonic Generation, and that's legitimately good, or I liked it anyway. And then you come out with Sonic Boom.
Who is it that came out with the game? The Sonic Boom? Somebody
big red button.
God almighty.
Someone who's probably not working for Sega anymore, that's for sure.
I don't think it was Sega working on it. I think it was just like, oh, you got the rights to this, make a game.
I think it was like a bunch of ex Jack and Daxter developers. And
Yes, it
see
was.
why they're ex.
Oh god.
Yeah, it was. I remember that.
But it seems that the debug switches were there. They basically are so hardwired into the game that they couldn't delete them. So they assumed that if they just moved them slightly below the game floor,
Wow.
nobody
Brilliant.
would ever touch them. Except that they didn't realize that it's really easy to get outside the game world.
Yeah, I heard like
What?
you can just sort of like leave the skybox. At some
Oh yeah.
point.
All you have to do is play as Knuckles. If you jump, pause the game, you can do a double jump infinity. Like you can just double jump forever.
Oh god.
And there was a
That's-
joke about that because in like apparently the show, there's a episode, like in the other episode, he just jumps into space.
That was just a YouTube.
Yeah, oh yeah, but then all of a sudden the writer's like, we made it canon. We made the bug canon. Not a bug, it's a feature, and I'm like, wow.
Of course. Jesus.
At least the writer's having fun with it, but geez,
Yeah, like
don't wanna-
I've heard the show is legitimately good. It's just the game is crap.
There's some clips I've seen of it, and every time
it's
I see
not
one, I'm
bad.
just like,
It's
what?
kind of.
There's
it's-
some moments, and then there's other moments where I'm just like,
It's a pure kid Saturday morning cartoon,
yeah.
and not a smart one at that. It's not like any of the ones with recurring stories. And they actually do confirm that kind of the universe is completely reset every episode,
Oh.
so they never have to worry about continuity.
Well, as long as we get to meet Lyric, that's all I care about. No, I'm kidding.
Nope, he never appears.
Wait, what?
I think he was made for the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the game too, yeah.
What?
Also,
Hell,
Like
as far
this-
as I know, like no one. I don't even think the one guy. What was it? Shadow. I don't even think Shadow appears in the show.
nope, not
I
that
think the show and the game are completely unrelated.
They might, like, the game itself might be an episode of the show. Like, that
I've
could
heard
be.
that. Technically, apparently, the DS game and the Wii U game are meant to be the same storyline, two halves of it. Except, from what I've heard, the continuity actually doesn't work. And
Brilliant.
especially with regards to Lyric. So basically, Lyric does not actually coherently exist in either game.
Don't you also need, like, the
Of course.
3DS game to unlock unlock an upgrade in the Wii U game or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
There's something.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
I recall seeing someone dredged up in like a gallery of concept art for Sonic Boom, and apparently in the original first draft design for the game, Lyric was this really cool looking owl.
And
That
now
would be
he's something else.
No, he's a
Now
snake,
he's-
right?
What is Lyric?
Big snake
He's
guy,
a
isn't it?
snake with robot arms.
Why?
Of course.
Because that makes so much more sense than the
Whoa!
normal owl.
You
Whoa.
bastard.
Oh, it's a big spinner that time.
I could have dodged that if I was in a ship. Alright.
Yes, you could have.
You could have dodged that if you were a Toho too.
Alrighty.
If only you had a 1 pixel hitbox.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Alright. Take it easy, guys.
Good. See it.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, Nigel.
Thanks for streaming
Good
with me.